you, don't get too comfortable, because her liking you doesn't mean that your job security is straight, like you good, because obviously it's not, because we've seen in situations where it's been speculated or been reported that, oh, she loves this guy, and then all of a sudden she does it, it seems like she does an about face, and the guy's gone or guys are gone.
Votes him off the island.
Yeah, she's like, listen, y'all not getting the job done. We got to move on and move on quickly. If I'm gonna make the decision, I'm making it right now. I'm not waiting, and you got to give her credit. She's done it, or and she hasn't looked back. She hasn't looked back. She's been definitive on her decisions, and she's moved forward. We just hope that now she's found the right pair together, Brian and Rand, that this team can now, succeed the right way. They can flourish the right way, where there's not, one guy feeling as if he should be in charge over the other guy. You have two guys that understand their space, and they're working in their space, and they're trying to get the most out of everybody that's in their space. Rand is trying to get the most out of his scouts and everybody else, and the coach is trying to get the most out of his coaching staff and the players. So she can't change her mind.
Everybody's got a short leash.
Everybody, but that's what happens because this league has turned into into sort of basketball now. It's become the NBA. This league has become the NBA. The patience is no longer there. The NFL was one of the teams, other than hockey, but I understand why hockey has patience, because it's a different CBA and everything else. And then they got a minor league, so they can send you to the minor league.
But even in hockey, I mean, the NHL is known as the fire the coach league.
Yeah, they are. They're fire coach real quick, but I'm talking about in regards to players too. Because we can send them down to the minors and let them grow. But the NFL has become like NBA. Like, if you're not getting it done, we're gonna move on.
It's like college football.
Exactly. Like I said, I loved you yesterday, and that was true. I did love you as my coach yesterday, but today,
not today.
I don't love you today, because you must have did something that made me not love you today. So,
like AJ Brown spanking the goalpost.
Exactly. So
not today.
It is what it is. So, but she's been definitive, and she's made her decisions, and she's moved forward, and she has not looked back. And if she did, she wouldn't tell us.
Right.
So, but
I think Kyle's call was the perfect example of how, not all, of course not, but how a lot of Titans fans feel. I believe in him. Yeah. Why? Just it hips. What?
Yeah, you gotta. You would say, if I'm a Titans fan and I'm looking at Will Levis, I say, okay, this is what I see. He's poised in the pocket.
He's tough.
He's
tough as nails.
He has a strong arm.
Totally.
He does need to become more of a touch passer in those short intermediate routes.
Puts the ball in harm's way too much.
Yeah, he doesn't need to put the ball in harm's way, and he has to not put his body in harm's way. Sometimes you just got to go down and be able to play another play. So if you're evaluating Will Levis, those are some of the things that I've seen, and there are some things that I'm concerned about. But we will know all of that this year.
Grade is incomplete.
Yep.
And I can live with that. Right back into your phones on this coming up next. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. Hey, join 1025 The Game for Kubota Orange Days at the grand opening of Coleman Tractor of Nashville's newest location this Saturday. Stop by anytime from 9 to 2 p.m. this Saturday for demos, deals, giveaways, and lunch from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. 1025 The Game will be on site from 10 a.m. to noon, so stop by and see us at Coleman Tractor of Nashville's newest location, 7221 Whites Creek Pike in Jolton. Hey, tune in to 94.9 The Fan today as the Nashville Sounds take on the Norfolk Tides at First Horizon Park. Pre-game at 6:20 p.m., first pitch at 6:35, with coverage also available on 94.9 The Fan app and at 949thefan.com. Sounds baseball on 94.9 The Fan, presented by Twin Peaks Family Leisure and Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Is it the Norfolk Tides or the Norfolk Tide?
I've heard both.
I believe it's Norfolk Tide,
Yeah.
the Crimson Tide.
Yes.
The Norfolk Tide at First Horizon Park. Excuse me.
Okay.
Let's get back into your phones on this. We're reacting to Dayton Brugler's way too early 2025 mock draft. And I know that you're listening to that and you're probably rolling your eyes. I don't want to talk about the draft next year. But the essence of it is that Dayton Brugler has the Tennessee Titans selecting second overall and selecting a quarterback second overall, which all of that wrapped in a tiny little bow says to me, nobody believes in your quarterback. Want to get your reaction on that. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. One texter texts in, says, I hope that he's good and the future because I like this guy, that he seems genuine but with an edge, a little high-strung. That's exactly what we need after a decade or so of robotic yes-man quarterbacks. And I love the catfish video with Cushenberry at the Preds game. That was hilarious. I did love that. I thought that was funny. And I do think that Will Levis is a very likable person.
Yeah.
But everyone's going to love you if you win games.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to love you if you don't.
I don't care how much they loved you before. You ain't winning games, they ain't going to love you.
Okay, welcome to life as a quarterback.
Exactly.
Michael says, it sounds like a lot of our fans think that Levis is a franchise quarterback because they want him to be one. Is it possible that the national media thinks Levis is not a franchise quarterback because they don't want him to be? Because then they would have to acknowledge the Titans. I agree with the first half of the text. I think that Titans fans believe that Will Levis is a franchise quarterback because they want him to be. And who wouldn't want your quarterback to be the franchise quarterback? Whenever we don't have an answer to something, I think that's kind of the theme of the discussion after the draft. We're not going to know what these picks are going to be until September, October, November, even next year.
Exactly.
So it's really easy right now when we have zero proof to say they're going to be great, to look at it with a glass half full mentality, because that's how fans think, and I get it. You want to think good things about your team.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? I totally get it, and I totally understand it. Why wouldn't you want to believe that your young quarterback is your franchise quarterback? But the truth is, nobody knows.
Yeah. We don't know just yet. So, but we will, start to find out. The picture will become a lot clearer as we get into camps and then preseason and then obviously the season. We will find out whether, Will Levis is making those strides to becoming, the franchise quarterback or, that you may have to draft another one, the next following year. But that's something that nobody knows. So I don't know how, it's way too early. And I get it. They got to do it. Well, they don't have to do it, but when they do it, they got to put somebody's name up there.
Yeah.
And because the Titans, quarterback is an exclamation point or period, it's a question mark, then that's the first thing that people go to because it's the easiest. Oh, we can just go to the quarterback, low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Second pick in the draft, they're drafting a quarterback. I don't think it's that simple.
Yeah, and it's an uncomfortable position to be in, uncomfortable territory when this is such a quarterback-driven league. And now look at your division.
Exactly.
It's a quarterback-driven division. But I'm going to hold off on the Will Levis franchise quarterback talk until I know that he is. And I've seen not enough to say that he is. All right, we'll transition back into the Predators. 2-1 win last night in Game 5. The Predators force a Game 6. We'll be back at Bridgestone Arena on Friday. TBD on puck drop time, but Adam Vingan will join us coming up next. We'll get his reaction to what he saw in Game 4, what a heartbreaker, what he saw from Game 5, and what he wants to see from Game 6. How can the Predators force a Game 7? We'll get into that with Adam Vingan coming up next. Caroline, Willy, D-Mase, 102.5, 106.3, The Game.